there was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, I definitely had a report out, last
Ah,
week. Obviously highlighting the rotation.
yeah.
Dow Jones broke out, the Russell 2000 broke out, the banks
Yes.
broke out,
Yes. So the
and
broadening,
then
right? Yeah.
yeah, then the semiconductors actually broke below the 50-day, and it's testing the upper boundary of that trading range that we got
Oh.
there. The other sort of big thing that changed in the region was the yen broke below its 50-day. So that's a big change because since you broke above 152, the 50-day had been acting as support, and last week we broke that. And the
Yes.
other point about the yen is there's massive net short positions here. So,
Oh.
breaking a key support area can get the yen shorts cover, which sort of adds to the reversal in that dollar yen chart. So that's
Oh,
probably
okay.
the sort of big one on the macro side within Asia is the yen move. And then obviously the US rotation. I
Yes.
mean, I would say that the US rotation, if I look at a few things in addition to just market action,
Mm.
um, credit spreads are not acting bearishly. And what I mean by that, this blue line here is credit spreads falling. So
Mm.
you haven't made a new low. But the thing is, credit spreads haven't broken above the 200-day, and that's quite important because typically when you've had the S&P making a new high, but then credit spreads continue to widen and break above the 200-day, that's been a liquidity issue for markets and a more aggressive sell-off. So
Yes.
credit spreads are acting fairly well. Part of that is the rebound in breadth.
Mm.
So, it does look like sort of a rotation correction, or maybe a better way of thinking about it is a positioning correction. The crowded long positions are being sold off. So in a lot of cases, it feels more painful than it actually is at,
Yeah.
what the charts are doing. You've got no significant or major breakdown. Yes, you've got the corrective action, but it doesn't,
Mm.
take away that we've had these sort of corrective pullbacks before and it hasn't changed the longer term trend, right?
Mm.
So that's the tricky part. It's there are cross currents, but I don't see more evidence to get more bearish on the setup. Like there's actually still opportunities
Yeah, but you all these
in front
comments,
of us.
yeah, all these comments refer to SPX, right? The broader index, not the Mega Seven leaders, right? At the moment.
Well, that's seven stocks versus the broader market, right? And my point is, it's
Oh,
hard to get more bearish on the markets if you see this has been some typical action that we've seen.
despite it crossing below the 50-day, right?
Well, that's the 20-day. The 50-day is still
Oh, it's at the
support.
blue one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe if you don't allow me to start, right? Do you have a Mega 7 proxy, or we just use Nvidia? Yeah. This MTEM momentum ETF is not really traded, I thought it was traded very liquidly.
No. It's there is a Bloomberg. I'm just gonna get the ticker, sorry.
Or we could use Nvidia, it's fine.
Oh, I mean, it's. I think you either have a view on Nvidia, or if you want the seven names, let's look at the
Yeah.
Mega Seven.
Because last week what happened to me was Roche hit us with a surprise, right? And that
Yep.
prompted obesity, Novo in particular, to act like Nvidia, and then coincided with Nvidia puking, right? So that was what was confusing. Who's causing what? That's the other question, right? Of course, now on Friday I saw another time where Nvidia didn't hold, and then Lily gave up good news, based on good news. Yeah. Oh yeah,
So that's
exactly.
the Magnificent Seven index.
Yes.
That's the 50-day. There's no divergence at the
Oh,
peak.
yeah, it was higher, right? Yeah. The momentum is higher at the peak than before. Yeah.
Yeah, momentum confirmed the high, so I don't have any divergence.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I mean, if I put the 20-day on, yes, it is below the 20-day.
Yes.
Um, there's
Uh,
this is not major support, but there's this little congestion zone here that you made in June, and then there's a few highs that come through here from April, May, that comes through at 19,559. I mean, it does vary through the Magnificent Seven. So,
Yes.
that's not too dissimilar to, and I'll just put the S&P on the.
Oh, even the S&P had a pullback? I'm surprised. I thought it was winning. Yeah.
Well, in relative terms, it is, but I mean, I'll just show you this and you'll see.
Oh, it also pulled back. Yeah.
Yeah, so it also pulled back. If you look at there's the 50-day. So this is a greater percentage decline. So if you think of it in this term, that's 11% basically.
Oh my goodness.
And the S&P is roughly
So it
4%.
wasn't, it wasn't some small shit. Okay, I understand.
So they're both corrected, but I mean, you also got to take into account what it did before the 11% decline, right?
Yeah. But you still, am I right to just interpret you're still bullish on the Mega 7 because of the momentum confirming the highs, right?
I mean, I go back to the comments I made earlier on that there's very little here to get more bearish on, right? That
Yes.
you've corrected, you've broken 20-day.
Yeah,
but you don't have any sort of topping pattern. You don't have credit spreads widening significantly.
Yeah.
This is likely, and we've talked about Lilly and Nvidia for some time, and my base case for Nvidia since the 20th, you would have seen this in a number of the presentations we've done before, right? Sorry. Where's the wrong presentation?
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. I mean, I'd rather go through. I just need to know your thoughts on this since I think my top names are positively correlated. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Well, just remember Nvidia on the 20th of June had the bearish reversal candle, and then since then it hasn't made a new high, right?
But
this is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So this is exactly what happened when you got the bearish reversal on the 8th of March.
Yes.
As well as the 24th of August. And the stock corrected. There was but two declines of 20%, but it was a trading range before it broke to the upside. And you've seen that price action in Lilly and you've seen it in NOVO before, that it's not uncommon for it to go into a holding pattern trading range and then, finally continuing the uptrend.
But the Nvidia form a downward divergence in the most recent one?
No, it didn't.
Right? Because the price wasn't at a high, right? Yeah.
The 20th of June high momentum confirmed it, but it doesn't take away like Lilly we should be expecting. Lilly did have a divergence, which is different to Nvidia.
Yeah. Okay.
And it is getting some respect by their 50-day. If we zoom in, that was Friday. Still holding on it Thursday. Yes. And then just below the 50-day, it's the upper boundary of the old trading range, which coincides with your 100-day.
100-day.
Not that I pay a lot of attention to the 100-day, but I think we talked about it previously. So that is the 100-day. To me, the more significant peaks are what you had there through February, through May, and that all sits around 800 or 795 to 800.
That's very helpful. Okay. But how is Lilly supposed to play out? Because let's say it gets to 808, right? Is it supposed to form a divergence? It's not, right? Because it's not a lower price, right?
Well, because, and this is like Nvidia, it's a trading range that I would expect to develop, and 800 being the lower boundary of this range.
Yeah,
and you can see this last time here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you need to break into it. The upper boundary being 800 should be a new support area.
Yes. Okay. That's very helpful.
And like this did, you actually came back to retest that level 2 months later, right?
Yes.
A very gradual rebound. So, the point here is
that's a new level.
Yes, I think
trading range form.
Well, I think you can accumulate or chip away at 800, but should you expect new highs from that 800? I think it's a low probability. You should expect a bounce and a trading range that then sets a platform for a break to the upside.
Yeah.
Sure.
No. The results are mid-August, so I can imagine what the aim is. Okay, perfect. Can we look at NOVO and NVO? Because this time it's a bit, yeah, top right. It's a bit like the tail, no, it's on this page on the top right. Yeah, that's the one. The tail wagging the dog. The ADR is wagging the,
So here you are below the 50-day. You're already back into the trading range that you had between March and May. And yeah, the support
bearish.
area is the lower boundary and the 200-day.
At 120, 120, right?
Yeah, 118 to 120. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this one will move in between the range, probably downward, right? Towards the lower end of the range first.
Well, I mean, I think both Lily and, in Lily's case, it's currently at 857. The support's at 800. So both Lily and Novo have a little bit more downside before you get into the support areas.
Yeah, okay. That's very helpful. Can we see what the European side looks like?
Look. So it's also broken below the 50-day, as you can see, and it's also fallen back into the same trading range that you had between February and June.
This
So you
one
can
looks slightly
see,
different from the ADR, huh? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I mean, slightly different, but the same as in it's below its 50-day and it's in the old trading range.
Yeah.
And the bottom end of that range has supported 832.
832, perfect. Okay, that's very helpful. Okay. Then maybe we look at the culprit, Roche, ROG, in this tab. It's just yeah.
Yeah, so there's not too much change from last week in that you did have the breakout, obviously you had the base breakout already, and then you had the acceleration past the news. Now you have momentum confirming the high.
Yes.
This base that you broke out, you've already met the upside target.
Yeah. But there's new news to confirm this, right? That's a problem. Yeah.
Well, momentum is still confirming the high. So
yeah.
there is some resistance here at 281 and
but
above
it's
280.
likely to break out of it, right? Yeah.
Well, momentum is still confirming high. Above 281, your next resistance is around at 311, 312.
This is crazy. Yeah. Okay, there's Roche. That's fine. Can we look at Lonza? Lonza, then Astra Daiichi.
Hello. Hello. So, hello. We do need to see this support area. So that's the 50-day. We want to see that really hold, so it pushes up to retest the highs. I suspect that retesting 560, bouncing off 50 will likely set up a divergence.
Yeah.
And then, what you basically will have for Lonza is basically a 470 to 557 trading range.
Yeah, until more clarity, right? Yeah, but the recent price action has been a bit more bullish, correct? Look at the momentum as well.
Well, yeah, so remember momentum confirmed this high, and it actually fell a bit further than what I was looking at it, finally stabilized, took out the 50-day at this with Friday's action is acting as support. So yes, it should trade, at least back to the April highs.
Yeah, before you take profit. I get it. Yeah. That's perfect. Okay, can we look at Daiichi and Astra?
Astra and then Daiichi.
Not much there, huh?
So well, I mean, this is sort of key support now. One of the small issues, at least in the near term, is that you couldn't get back above the 50-day.
Yes.
And what does give me a bit of sort of concern is that the failure to get above the 50-day, has now created this potential topping process where the rebound's been, So if you break below 11,800, you basically go back to retest the breakout point. So essentially 11,800 is now key support that needs to hold.
Okay. No, I'm gonna come to Novartis, which flunk. Okay, then let's do Daiichi first. Daiichi. 4568.
So this last high has set up that divergence now. So we're just short of that 6,000. We just got 6,100 was the recent high. You can see that RSI was lower.
Than the
than the
April.
highs that you made in June.
Oh,
So this RSI high is lower than your prior highs and lower than your May high. So you basically had
oh,
a
right.
continue. So what this all points to is, 50-day is likely to be tested again. And if you break below that,
Then yeah,
you trade down
to
to
4,900. Oh, actually, the
well,
same
at least
something.
5,200. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, understood. That's Daiichi. Then Chugai, 4519 Otsuka.
Well, that's shortly. So there we go. So, momentum confirmed this high. You've pulled back. I'm still expecting at least to retest the highs that you made in July, if not test the March highs to set up a divergence.
So it's not the divergence
So
yet.
it's not massive upside, but I would suspect that you get one more push.
Yeah, and it's better than most of the Japan stocks already. Okay, I see. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to see where the levels are. 6,500 and 66.6, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Otsuka 4578. This one's been bucking the trend. Don't know where it stops. Broken out of your initial 100 range, the Fibonacci range. And momentum confirmed it.
Yeah. So remember this little consolidation pattern here. You hit the upside target already.
Yeah.
But momentum is still confirming the highs. So yeah, don't have new highs. Or no, don't have a new upside target, but you'd still get benefit of doubt that you can keep on extending here.
Okay. And when to know to sell when the momentum changes or
Well, I can only sort of see if you form a divergence. The only other thing you could squeeze it up with a 20-day moving average as a trailing stop level.
Yes.
Which is at 7,005.
Yeah, this one's amazing. This is going to have very good results. So I think it's going towards 8,000. Okay.
Right.
Helpful.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
you give benefit of doubt to the upside. It's definitely not it's not a fresh idea, but it's an idea that momentum continues to confirm the highs.
Yes. Then within Japan, two more names, Terumo and Asahi Intact, 4543 7747. Just mute myself.
So you can see in Terumo's case, we're still in this holding pattern or trading range where 2,500, 2,511 is support, and your resistance is at 28.
Yeah, it keeps
10.
failing that, right? You always fake the breakout, and I add it and then it fails. So, but
well, look, I mean, as long as you can keep on holding the 50-day, you do have higher lows developing, pressure rising and ultimate breakout here. So to me, that's your sort of stop level. If you can't hold above that, you've got a failed breakout. You probably turn to the bottom end of the range. But as it stands right now, the pullback that you had in the middle of this month, you did hold above the 50-day and you're having a run at it again.
Oh no, this is very helpful. Thanks for pointing out the 50-day. Okay. Then Asahi, 7747.
So here at least you did have momentum confirm the highs. Now you've seen some hesitation the last 2 days because of the 200-day, but because momentum's confirmed the highs, I'd suspect that the upper boundary of this sort of breakout area should hold. There is some support already around 2,400, and then you've got additional support around 2,300. That we get another then push to the upside.
I think it's waiting for a direction from the US. But I'm surprised the 200 is so far away. Why are they panicking?
Well, I mean, I guess, that a few days ago, you were basically 2% away from it, right?
Oh, it was a single day's move. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, that you had 3 days that you were 2% just below the 200-day, and then you've sort of backed off with a broader market correction.
Yes. Okay, that's helpful. That's Asahi, and then we're going to go to the tool space. Can we look at TMO first in the US? It's not on this page, huh?
I think it's here.
No, it's probably not on this tab.
Yeah, it's here.
Okay. Wow, big
So we
issue.
got,
Yeah, at a 200, right?
I mean, this is sort of big level, right?
Yeah.
So that
Oh,
blue moving average
we didn't
80
breach it yet. Yeah. Okay. Are you drawing this a bit lower or that's just right?
Well, that's a 200 day, and then you've got this low, and you've
And that's
got
low,
this
yeah.
low, and you've got these lows here. So basically, you're sitting on 525 to 534.
Yeah.
534 is a 200 day, 525 are these other lows.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that you fail below the 50 day and you've
It's
got
not good.
lower highs,
Yeah.
does suggest that sellers have built up and going to pressurize this. So, the way that I think you can look at it, you've got 5% upside
Yeah.
to the
And then a stop
50
loss
day.
right below. Yeah.
If you did break below that 525 area, the full
Oh.
measured move is down to 460.
Very helpful. Okay. But this just changed, right? The last time we talked about it was on the uptrend. It was positive, right? But now the red line is acting as a resistance.
Well, I think the sharp reversal below the 50 day and threatening
Threatening the
525. I mean,
yeah.
I guess the other way to look at it, because you between support and resistance areas, is 525 has to be your stop level, which is 1.6% downside. Top of the range is 12% upside.
Yeah. No, we get a decision this week, the results and the guidance.
Right.
Yeah, I will look into it.
Right.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so
Then,
525 key there that it holds on results then.
yeah, can we go to Europe and we look at the two guys responsible for this actually? It's MRKGY and SRT3. They're the ones who reported first and hurting the space. Either one, SRT3, I see it there. Yeah. This one is the crazy bugger. Yeah. Is it a buy now?
I mean, we're going to have to make a new low so it
Form the
failed at the
divergence.
50 day, which you can see, to form the divergence.
Yeah.
It did close basically towards the lows of the session. So it
Yes.
does look like it at least makes a new low. You can see here.
Yeah, but so it broke the last, it broke the last year's October low, right?
Yep, it did. It basically closed at the lows you made on the 19th of June. You've got intraday lows on the 2nd of
200.
July.
Yeah.
These two lows are basically identical. And obviously the RSI is higher than the RSI reading that you had on the 19th of June. So if
Yes.
you take the closing levels. So if you get another, the problem is if you get another day lower,
Yeah.
the RSI will keep on falling, right?
But if so today is the decision day, right? Or this 2 days, right? If it
Yeah, I would
turns
say,
up or down.
yeah, if it can turn up, you will get a hookup in the RSI. The risk is that you get
divergence.
continuation to the downside and the RSI keeps on falling.
Yeah, no problem. We can still observe this. Yeah.
Yeah, don't sort of try and preempt it. And if you are preempting of it, you got to
Stop loss,
use.
yeah. 200. Got
Yeah.
it. Can we look at MRK about 8 taps to the right? 8
Sorry,
taps to the right of the current.
Yep.
Yeah. Because the next data point, it's far right. Third row, yeah. The next data point will come from this chart. I think the jury's still out there. Oh, like thermal.
Yeah, probably not as significant support as Thermo, but what is similar is the trading range.
Yeah. Wow, so far away.
Well,
there's
there's
another one. Yeah.
I mean, there's only basically these 2 points as far as support goes. So you're sitting right on 145.
Yeah. And if it breaks below, it's gone, right?
You can see down 132, right? Yeah.
And what's your where direction is pointing downwards as well, right? As with the rest of space, right?
Well, again, 50 days been resistance, and you've been quite well below that for some time. Again, the only small positive is if you do get a bounce to the upside, you can get a divergence between the two lows there. But that it's not multi-month.
Yeah. Okay, that's helpful. That's Merc. I need to adjust that as well. I may be too early on this whole trade. Okay, GSK.
Again, a mini divergence, right? At support.
Oh, yes, but it's been forming it for a while, right? It's not the first time. We've had
Well,
three or
basically
four of it.
a month.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
a month. So mid-June to basically mid-July.
yeah. Is it a convincing divergence to you, or not really? It's look at the
I
little try
mean,
to break out. It's comes straight back.
you had this mini divergence in November, and it got you that uptrend, right? So
Oh,
hard to second guess. The fact that you got it, you got to use the risk management.
yes,
So I think
yes.
sort of two things. You like it fundamentally. You got 2.2% downside risk
Yeah.
to bottom fish here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right.
So I think you have
Okay.
to think of it in that manner, that you've got some evidence of stability. Not only is there slowing downside, you can see that slowing downside's at a level that had acted as resistance before, but then turned into support in January of this year.
Mm, mm. Okay, very helpful. That's GSK. Can we look at ZEAL and VKTX?
So I think the best case for Zeal now is that you set up this higher trading range. So, after you had that breakout, you
Yeah.
got within sort of 28 euros of the upside target of 1,000, right?
Yeah.
There's sort of nothing, nothing really from momentum, and support is at the 50-day in the upper boundary. So that's at
Yeah.
743.
Okay. Okay. Revisit there, right? I mean, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Then in the US, VKTX. This is a rival. I just want to make sure I see Vertex here, but no, VKTX. It's a small guy. Viking.
Yep. So not quite a divergence. As you can see, the closing low was here, and these
Mm.
lows or the closing levels are slightly higher.
So it needs
Um,
to fall further to form that.
but I mean, the point was, when we broke down here, the downside target was basically the 200-day, right?
Mm.
Now, we're obviously much closer to that a test of the 200-day, which
Yeah.
is still, what is it,
Teens percent away,
10%
right?
lower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that, you then potentially set up a divergence. So you're at the level that you would think a bottom fishing buy should start to develop.
Mm. Mm. Got it. Got it. Okay. That's Viking. Then before we go on to the European side, maybe no, actually it's fine. We can go to Europe right away. Let's look at Novartis, NOVM. Is this a breakdown?
Well, you had momentum confirm the highs, and you've pulled back to the 50
Mm.
day.
And it
The
held,
upside
right?
the
Yeah.
upside target from that trading range you did actually meet,
Meat.
which
Yeah.
was basically 100.
I covered the top. I'm so pissed off. But do I press the shot here or not? In your view?
Well, I think because momentum confirmed the highs there, is
Ah,
that you've got maybe 4% downside to
yes,
$90
yes.
being the top of the range. So you could
Okay,
you
then
could
if,
you could trade it down to 90, but that's where I sort of reassess
but if it
that it stabilizes there.
does it form a upward divergence at 90? Not really, right? It
Well,
could.
it would be very difficult
Yeah.
to form a divergence with, price, the RSI is still falling, price is still falling. It hasn't even had
Yeah,
a
you're
high
right.
momentum low to have a bounce. So that'll take, two, at
Mm.
least sort of 5 to 10 days to develop
So
a minor divergence.
so your thought is there's nothing to do on this one, right? Until it gets there, right? Either way.
Yeah, I would be re-looking at 90, that, if
That
you
one.
test
Yeah.
and hold it, that you could potentially run back to 100 and have this 10% wide trading range.
Got it. Sanofi, SAN.
So it's got a messy sort of longer term trading range.
Yeah, this is completely confusing to me, this name. So
I
they
think
got
a
slammed by the
low.
French. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a if
Oh,
anything,
yeah.
you've got slowing upside. So you've got an RSI here lower than it
Yeah.
was back in May. You've got
Yeah.
this overhead resistance. It doesn't look like it's breaking out. It, I think can be seen as a funding short.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm using for. Okay. Okay. It's been acting badly to bad news. Good news. Okay. SHL. SHL. So these are the Nasdaq.
So another sort of low, nothing significant setting up here. I mean, obviously a very broad range that I've marked up there, and then the shorter term narrow
Yeah.
range between 200-day and
I see. So
55,
funding short.
60 resistance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But it is holding the 50-day, right? That's the other issue with funding short.
It's holding the,
The red
well, I'd
line.
say the
Yeah.
200-day is probably more
More
significant.
important.
It's been above and below the 50-day because it's been in a trading range, right?
Yeah. 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 Okay. Understood. That's Siemens. ALC. Alcon. In the middle. Yeah. In the middle of the whole. I'm in tab wise. Yeah.
有兩頭咯，佢有幾多啊？佢有喺度食緊啊。OK，但係而家我哋 show 緊係六。
So just a few things.
It formed a divergence, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Should have shorted this.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it still looks vulnerable essentially to close this gap here. So you did have that big intraday move on the 17th, close back at the 50-day, but it does look like you can, close the gap there back to 74.65 or so.
What are the chances of it making new highs though? It's hard, right? Because of the last.
Well, even if
big
it does, it's likely to set up another
divergence.
divergence unless it sort of gaps up.
This is helpful. This one we can short. Okay. STMN. Is it somewhere here? Strawman. Oh yeah, in the middle of in the tabs, right beside ALC.
Yep. Thanks. Sorry, I got a bit of a head cold, so every now and again I'm going to disappear just to cough and put myself on mute. So that's what I'm doing that's what I'm doing in the background. So sorry if you
Oh no,
go
no,
silent every now and
again.
again.
You can cough into it. It's fine. Yeah.
I mean, another sort of very broad trading range, limited by this, that's a 200-day, but you've also got these sort of shorter term highs at 121 to 125.
Yeah.
There's nothing really on the momentum indicators. This is not a divergence in that RSI was marginally lower there.
Yeah.
It did fail below 121. It's battling to hold into the 50-day. So not a high conviction setup. If anything, a funding short.
Okay, that's helpful as well. Then GALD. This is new. I'm looking at this for the first time. New ticker. So maybe maybe new IPO. Maybe we don't have enough. Yeah. GALD. SW. SW.
CGP on what?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously short history, but the one
Yeah.
thing we can feature is that we did close below these lows. So that was the intraday reversal Friday.
Yeah.
So it does really need to recapture that 71.65 to put it back into the trading range that you had between May and June. But failure
if it
to
goes
hold
lower,
that. Yeah, I mean, failure to hold that, if anything, I'd say that does look a bit more bearish, that you have downside risk to 65.
Okay, that's helpful because this is a new big cap. Okay, got it. And FME. Yeah, so to the left of
So we're still just dealing with this range, right? Towards the bottom end of the range. And there's
this
been a
thing is,
small divergence.
Yeah, it's reacting on good news, on bad news.
Right. I mean, it does look like downside's limited in that you've got 33, 34 support and you've got slowing downside momentum.
Yes, I realized that. Okay, there's nothing to do there. a PHIA just on the right of it, just to see if it broke anything. Yeah. Trying to short this for a long time now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been grinding its way lower. So not a high momentum reversal to the downside, but you can see how the 50 days turned into resistance.
Yes.
And there is a short-term support area at 23, basically.
Okay, but if it breaks that, it'll be interesting, right? Yeah.
Yeah, then I think you can close the gap and basically trade down to the 208, that 2085 area.
Yeah. Okay. Right now it's nothing. Okay. AFX. AFX. Oh yeah, there you are.
So setting up a divergence now with this week's or last week's lows, RSI at a higher
Oh.
level. So yeah, definitely a cover short or mature downtrend, basically.
Oh.
So you haven't broken out from anything, but you definitely have slowing downside momentum.
That's good. That's good because the US peer is about to be bought out. Okay, can we look at the US side? There's this name, STAA. I
It's a
must have
new one, right?
yeah, it's a new one. But this is the peer of
ST.
AUS. Yeah, this is the peer of AFX. What a crazy chart because it's under bid spec from Alcon.
It did make the base back here, broke out, and now you've been holding above the 200-day.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a trading range, right? Where essentially 50's resistance and the support is at 37, 38, which is the 200-day and these prior lows.
I see. So there's nothing to do there, right? No momentum is weakish as well, right? In the middle, right?
Yeah, more of a range.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Back to Europe. One last name. One SXP short.
我哋有俾我睇錯，我睇嘅你睇 exposure 啊，換地點137啊嘛，我睇 U 喎。
Oh,
It's
still
also
doing
limited
weird stuff. Yeah.
limited history. Basically, that's now the first few days of the 200-day average
Oh.
and the 50-day. So it's almost a very narrow range. But
我睇到呢幾。
Oh.
yeah, I mean it's limited data, so I don't think I wouldn't put a lot of weights on the current price action. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's go on to Merck in the US or US side, MRK and MV.
已經咁樣，即係兩邊夾埋4點幾係咪？
So really a very well-defined trading range that's now formed on Merck since that January breakout. So basically 118, 120 has been support and 133, 134 is resistance. And yeah, there's nothing really on the momentum side. So very, very narrow range set to continue.
ABBV, I think that's just on the right of it. The right tab. Yeah. On the tab basis.
So there's two things on this chart. One, the longer term breakout. And then two, the shorter term. Remember, we had this downtrend and then we broke out. And we've got now this higher trading range that's formed here. So as long as you keep on holding this 50-day in the lower boundary, so basically we're talking 163 to 165, this original trading range breakout, still gives you over 200 as an upside target.
Wow, that's bullish. So I should okay. J&J and Pfizer and Bristol. Yeah.
Might be on the other tab, I think. There's Bristol. Let me come back. So you can see two things: slowing downside momentum and an attempted basing pattern.
Yeah, you said that there was a divergence, right?
Yeah,
in the June.
That's the divergence.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that all points to a mean reversion trade to at least the 200-day, which is at 48.17.
Oh, but the price action has been so cranky the last 2 days, right? But it wouldn't matter. Yeah.
Well, it's been volatile, up intraday reversal, down intraday reversal, but still above the 50-day. The point is you've got double bottom, you've got slowing downside.
This
It
is
all-
positive, constructive. Yeah.
Well, it
Understood.
all points, like I say, to a mean reversion. It's not as big as that Roche base or the Pfizer base,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it does suggest you can trade higher.
Okay.
Let me just get
PFE?
the other.
No. Oh, J&J. Yeah.
So there's the base.
Oh, it broke out.
Yep.
Not convincingly, but
You also had the slowing downside into that base.
yeah.
You've pulled back towards the breakout area, and you're still getting what looks like support at that breakout point.
Hmm.
So that gives you, closer to
Around
34,
34.
35. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's helpful. J&J. Hopefully this one looks worse. Can't find any shorts now.
Or maybe a funding short because the trading range is still there, right? And even that, it looks like it's traded out of a short-term base within the. So remember, this is the longer-term trading range.
Yes. Oh, you're talking about J&J, not Pfizer, right? Yeah.
So this is J&J. So Pfizer is broken out of the base and it's still holding above that
Yeah.
breakout. And then J&J is this very broad trading range.
Hmm.
But this is the breakout of, highlight this trading range or basing pattern that's formed at the bottom end.
Hmm.
So if anything,
But the momentum is strong, right? Yeah.
this short-term trading range that you've had from April to July gives you an upside target of 164, 165. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is J&J. Doesn't matter. I have to adjust that. Okay. VRTX and AMG.
So marginal new high, as you can see, and low momentum reading. So first time you've got a divergence here, which makes it more of a take profit candidate.
More of a take profit candidate, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So slowing upside momentum here.
Yes. AMGN. This one's the complex one. Yeah.
So it had set up a sort of perfect divergence and then bounced hard off that 50-day.
Was that expected or predicted by the chart?
No,
Not
I mean,
really, right?
no,
Yeah.
no. So because you had a divergence here into that high.
Yes.
And then you basically came back to the 50-day, and that's where
And
this
broke out.
rally's developed
This is
from.
a Trump rally, right? Yeah.
Right. Now the RSI, I mean, it's gotten really
Marginally.
close, right?
Yeah.
But it is marginally below that level. I mean, it's still battling really to get upside momentum. But let me just take if I ignore the momentum profile and say, well, this is the trading range that you've now broken out of, where can this trade up to? The upside risk is towards 353, 354.
Oh my God. Yeah. But is it a short here today? That's the question, right? With the divergence
so
form.
again, these things is you have to use that intraday highs, the same as the short here to use this high 325 as a stop level. For this short, you have to use 338 or 339 if you wanted to round it up.
Yeah, but should I
level.
use the intraday or should I use the close? The close may not be, right? Oh, the close actually. No, the close doesn't mean that there's a divergence because it closes.
I would. So the RSI is calculated on close. I would use the intraday high to give you a bit of leeway, because you are betting against the trend, right? The trend.
Yes.
Still above the 50 days. So yeah,
so you would say no divergence form yet, right?
Well, if the stock moves up, that RSI is going to hook up again, right?
Yeah.
But it's all about managing risk at these inflection points, right? So you really, can manage your upside risk of being shorting the stock here.
Yeah.
Because if you do get follow through to the downside back below 325, and with today's news, maybe some of that Trump trade is now being reassessed, see how it all sort of the two candidates now pan out, is that this could drop back, below that 328 area, and you're taking sort of marginal risk to the upside just to have the Trump trade recorrect, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you. MGen, REGN GILD.
Wow. Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
Regeneron's also set up a divergence.
oh,
So there's your RSI divergence.
yeah. This one, no one dares to short it.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Vertex. Yeah, no one, just everyone is left it alone. Okay.
Now just, that last trading range breakout, the upside target was
Almost met.
1,000. Yeah,
today.
almost met, and you've got slowing upside, so
Yeah.
it looks mature at least.
Okay, that's awesome. That's Regeneron, Gilead, and Bib.
Gilead.
Yeah. Wow, this is purely a Trumbo interest rate trade. This big bizarre guy. Yeah. But 200 days tough for them, no? Oh,
Well, I mean, interestingly, that momentum did rise with it, right? In the last 2 days, it's held. So you are seeing some hesitation.
yeah, but you would
I
give
mean,
it the
this is
benefit
not
of
a this is not
yeah.
a high conviction setup. Again, if you want to be bearish, you can use the intraday high on the 18th of July at that 72.49 as
Yes.
a stop level
Stop
for it to
level, yeah.
fall back into this little range that you've got there.
But you're more this is constructive via RSI, right? Yeah.
Yes, I mean the RSI did confirm this recent high, so
Yes. Okay.
it doesn't have a high conviction setup. You can only
Either way.
we can
Yeah.
manufacture trades, right? Using stop levels, but is it
Yeah.
high conviction? No.
Okay. BIIB. I think that might be the far right one, right? Oh, that's VAX. Then it's not here. It's not on this page then. Oh, it's on this page? Oh,
Yep. So this one hasn't really changed. We talked about 200-day and 50-day.
yes.
That's continued to narrow, but the actual levels, the highs and the lows that you've made over the past 2 and a bit months, 218 to 236.
Yeah. So there's nothing to do here, right? Nothing directionally instructive.
No.
Yeah. mRNA.
So the high momentum breakouts actually come back to the breakout area, which you started to see stability here. How I'd probably simply sum this one up is 50 days resistance, 200-day support, and you've basically got a 104 to 134 trading range.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. That's helpful. Then we move into MedTech. Let's start with ISRG and then BSX. Yeah, BSX works.
Yeah. You've got a clear divergence here.
Yeah.
And you're basically threatening to break below that 50-day.
Yeah,
So
but
the
it's
very
holding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's threatening to break it. Definitely slowing upside. It's a mature uptrend.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's helpful. ISRG.
So this one, strong reaction off the 50-day with its results.
Yeah.
You do want follow through so the RSI confirms the highs, because if you get any intraday reversal here, you'll get a lower RSI high.
But let's say if you get an RSI high, is there a price target?
No, I mean didn't really. There's no clear trading range here. I mean your last trading range was this period here.
Yeah.
Which I believe we hit the upside target. I'll just double check.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you did.
tag.
Yeah.
Okay. The amazing stock. Okay. SYK.
There's just nothing really to do here. You'll see the range.
Yeah, this could be the funding.
Right at the middle of the
Yeah, no, this could be a funding shot. That's helpful as well. New ticker ZBH. This is the smaller rival of this. Yeah. I just want to see if there's an opportunity here.
係你幫我上一集下面好啦。兩個分。好。
Yeah, so quite a strange one,
Yeah,
very messy range.
ranges. Yeah,
And then, I mean, if I zoom into the short term, right?
yeah. It's broken out a bit as well.
So
Oh no,
you've got
it's coming back.
this,
Yeah.
well, it's coming back, but you had the divergence, the breakout, momentum confirmed that breakout.
Oh yeah,
You're
yeah.
pulling back, and I mean,
Below
it's
the
not a
red
very
line.
big, not a very
Yeah.
big range, but that does give you an upside target to the 200-day, basically.
Okay, got it. Thank you. No, no, I'm not going to do much here. I just wanted to cover the base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
BDX and ABT. BDX is Becton. I see ABT on the bottom left of this page. Yeah. Then I saw Becton. I'll tell you where it is.
Good spotting. So there is a divergence here.
I'm hoping to buy it, but the price action's been pretty crap. Yeah.
Well, the divergence gives you some reason.
Yeah.
So you can see RSI at a higher level than it was back in late May, early June.
Yeah, but does it concern you that the recent low is below the late May level? Not really,
Well,
right?
if it
It's just
wasn't,
one
it wouldn't
point.
give me a divergence, right?
Oh yeah.
So the fact that it did make a marginal new low does give
And
you
then
the
held.
divergence, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, to me that makes it a low probability of a high momentum breakdown, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's very good. ABT and then BDX is in the middle of the page here. Yeah, right in the middle square.
Cool. Thank you. So it's not quite a divergence, but the point would be that there is a support level around this 224, 225 area, which
Yeah.
has been maintained, but it's it's a trading range, right?
Okay, got it. That's helpful. We're not going to do much there. Okay. Then sorry, just looking at it. MDT and EW. Sorry, these are important names. Medtronic and Edward. MDT is far right on this. Far right on the slots. Yeah. Up. Oh no, right. Two slots. No, this is MTD. Two slots above them. Yeah.
There we
MDT.
go.
Yeah.
So it's had a bounce or a reaction at least.
Yeah.
Um,
Finding short still, right? Yeah.
but yeah, not too much in it's not like a 1 week, 2 week divergence here.
Yeah. I saw. That's why it bounced. Okay.
Yeah.
Is EW here in this page? Edward.
Yeah.
I'm running out of time a bit, so I'll just skip some names. Yeah. Yeah, the key Japanese ones covered. Yeah.
Yeah. So a bit more of a trading range. Bottom of the range 83, top of the range 95.
Hmm. Oh, and it's going downwards right now, right? Yeah. Okay, that's helpful. Yeah. And DXCM, sorry, DXCM and INSP.
Okay, so here we have
Divergence.
there is a divergence there. It's been building up for a bit of time. So,
Yes.
even this coming back here to retest, it
Yeah.
doesn't look like the break below 111 is something that's sustainable. It looks like we can bounce back.
Yeah. It tried, right? Then flunk. Okay.
Yeah, it tried and failed below the 200-day, but it still hasn't seen an acceleration to the downside.
Yes. INSP. Yeah, that's the one.
Another one where we built up a divergence.
Oh. Yeah, all the divergences are in the MedTech area, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got support
Yes.
just a bit lower at 124.
I wanted to wait for 124. It just doesn't want to get there. Okay, fine. about its results. Scary. Okay, DHR. Thank you. There's Anna.
Yeah, so I mean this one you can say wedge between 200-day and 50-day.
Yeah.
So 236 to 254.
Mm,
And it does look like a test that's 200-day. There's no divergence yet.
yes. Okay, that's helpful. IQV. Yeah, that's the one. I'll just skip along. Yeah.
So another one it's messy, right? But you did bounce off, 205.
Yeah.
The problem is the bounce, didn't really get follow through,
Yes.
and you likely seen a new range develop here of 237, 243, the top of the range.
Oh, well, it's come back super fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Is this short? It's more like a short than anything, right?
I'd
Yeah.
say funding short.
Yeah.
Directionally, it might just stay in this trading range.
Yeah. Okay. Then UNH.
So it broke out, pulled back a little bit, but still above the breakout area, which is 545 to
Mm,
550. Momentum did confirm the highs.
yeah.
And final point is, the breadth of this trading range on the
Oh my
upside
goodness.
is
Yeah.
significant, right? It's
Yeah.
676.
Unbelievable. Okay, it's helpful. Probably we need Trump in first. Okay. Then CI in this. Yeah, there is in the middle of that. Yeah, thank you. Then let's skip to Japan
So
after.
bounced off the 200-day. But I'd argue that, again, we're probably in a sort of
Mm,
fairly narrow
for trading
range
range.
and nothing really from a momentum standpoint we
Yeah, they're
can
waiting for
retest.
results.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Then can we just go to Japan, CSL first? CSL and RMD.
This is basically towards the top end of its range.
What do we do here? That's the question. Because bird flu is breaking out. I was thinking, yeah. It looks like momentum confirms it all. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no slowing divergence on this one. And maybe just to come back to this range,
Yeah. Oh,
314.
315. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I don't think that
So,
would do anything there. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. RMD. Yeah. AU. Yeah. Oh, it's a far right tab. Yeah.
So this is sort of settling in that range where we gap down. You found support around 2660. You've bounced back and you're
Yeah.
hesitating below the 50-day.
Ah,
So to me, that's more than likely to be a lower trading
SL.
range develop. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So then three Japan tickets and we're done. 4503 Stellas. Yeah, that's the one.
So this, I mean, it's an interesting one because it did break out. It has
Yeah,
pulled back.
scared the shit out of me. Yeah, and then it flung. But the momentum confirms the breakout, right?
Yeah, sorry. Momentum has confirmed the highs and it's still above the breakout point. So I
Uh,
would say that there's still risk of another leg to the upside here,
so leave it
where,
alone. Yeah,
yeah, where, maybe if you're looking
yeah.
at reshort or shorting it, move
1762.
to 1761.
Oh, very helpful. Yeah. Shonogi 4507. Sorry, just give me one more minute there. Yeah, that's the one.
So another messy setup. But looking at this, momentum's still rising, so it can test the 200-day, but I can't say it's sort of high conviction
Mm,
on how much further upside, because you did have this topping pattern here.
yeah, yeah,
And, just from a longer term perspective, there is still that broad range, right?
yeah.
But yeah, maybe it tests that 7,000 level and fails there again.
Okay, got it. Sorry, do we do 4523? Was that what you is I? Was that what we just did, or was that
No,
Astellas?
yeah, we did
Ah,
a
yeah, yeah,
Stellis.
yeah.
So yeah,
Then
you haven't broken out. You got capped by the falling 200-day. and we stuck in this trading range of basically 6,200 to 7,000.
Yeah, okay, that's very helpful. But this is more like a short, right? It's not
The
gonna
funding
break up.
short, yeah.
Yeah, last name, sorry, Takeda 4502. Then we're done. Oh, nothing here, right? Funding short.
No, so
Yeah.
another trading range and failed again below 4,400 and support at 4,000 basically.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All
I
right,
hope you
no
get
problem.
better from your flu.
Thanks.
Drink
Yeah.
more water.
Okay.
Thank you. Take
All
care.
right. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.